That put me in at the 375. You can see this node is building here. I don't want it to get into this node. Here's your open. I wouldn't want to go much lower than that. See what kind of reaction we get off this level. I want to see this snap back into this node here. Drop below it just a little bit. See if we get some follow through back into this node. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see future videos of how I trade market profile and volume profile. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. That's what I was looking for, but I obviously need more so we can get at least up to here. I'm looking for this to test these highs. In this portion of the video, audio didn't record for some reason, probably because I didn't hit the button. But I wanted you to see the price action anyways, and I'm just adjusting my stop. And there's also a weird thing that happened when I touched one of the stops. I must have hit a wrong button. It puts a ghost order or an extra order right here when I move this. See, when I click that, it put that buy stop up in the top of the DOM there. It's going to come into play later in the video. And at this point, I didn't even realize that it had happened. So basically, I'm just watching to make sure this isn't going to collapse on me, because lately I've had trades get to a certain point and then they just, like I said, totally collapse on me. So I've been taking shorter targets or closer targets and protecting sooner than I normally would. I'm pointing at this area. This is the volume area high, or the overnight high. And that's the area I'm most focused on. I want to see that it can get through there. I'm measuring the distance just to see how many ticks that would actually be, trying to decide if I want to take one contract here, because I just feel like there's going to be a lot of problems getting through this area. At this point, you can protect this. You can separate them. My plan here is to tuck one of these stops up underneath it once we get into that area, or at least above that area. So keep watching that stop, or keep it in mind, that stop, that extra stop there at the top left part of my DOM. Right here, I'm explaining that we're in this node. When we come down here to this area, you can see that other node that we were in. And that's why I was looking at that entry right there. That's why I took that entry. As we were exiting that top node, you've seen it reject out of that lower node. So right here, I tuck that stop underneath where it's at. then it doesn't quite get as high as I wanted it to. So I pull off just a little bit, see if I can get a little more, little higher value out of it. As it starts creeping up, I tuck this under that level. Now I'm going to pull this down. So that's the mistake I made right there. I thought I was grabbing an order to close it, and I accidentally grabbed that stop. So now it shifted my entry up a little bit. So right here, it shows that like that's the break even of the trade, and it's not. So now I bring an order down. I realize that I'm unsure of what actually happened. So I bring an order down and close one of my contracts. And there now I'm actually out for one, and I have one left, so I'm back to normal. I just thought that was really weird, and this type of technical errors happen. So my emergency plan is just to hit the flat button, but I took a second to see what was going on, and at the time I didn't know that's what had happened. I just realized that I was still in for two, got out of one. Now I'm back in the game, or back in the trade. So you can see the cursor moving. That's me trying to explain what happened, trying to figure out what happened. I'm just kind of confirming that I'm back where I want to be. So it did adjust my entry, or my average of my entry, but as far as my profit, I'm still in profit, and everything's moving as normal. The only thing is, my stop looks like if I come down and took that stop out right now, that I would take a loss in this trade, but I wouldn't. So I looked at the P&L. So we're up over that level that I was worried about. We actually did make it to that first target. Now it's just grinding around. So now the voice picks back up, and I just wanted to explain that and let you see the price action. So back to the regular trade. My stop here makes it look like I might take a loss in this trade. So like I said, you got to keep in mind that readjusted when I bought that extra contract and sold one. So technically I would take a loss on this contract, but overall I'm still ahead on the trade. Here you got a poor high forming. I'll drop this to 475 just in case it comes down. Just give it a little extra room. Let's go back to the 47 just to try to give it room. This overnight high, that's where it would probably bounce. Plus, it would fill. You have to see high right there. Just to see if we can get it to break this poor high. Keep in mind this box doesn't mean anything. All right, so the stop right now is here at 47. That gets us below this overnight high. Looks like this could be an attempt to break that poor high, but the volume and tempo is basically down to nothing. So there's the break of that poor high. See if we can get a little more extension on it. Our target right now is at this 54.75. Really like to get to this. Let's move this up to the 58. This is 100% initial balance here. I always pull it in just a little bit. And I wanted to be under this 560. We'll see how this acts. We know that our 40 ticks is here. This was our initial target under the 55. You have another weekly POC up at 67. So this should really be within reach. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see future videos of how I trade market profile and volume profile. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. There's 40 ticks on the original trade. There's our original target right there. Let's secure this original target at 54.75. I'm just going to see what happens from there. We're only trying to get to 58.50. If we get even close, I'll take it. Otherwise, I'm more than happy with this 54.75. Yep, there we go. So from the original trade, that would have been 44 ticks. And there's just no way that I was giving that back. So like I said, I was comfortable moving that stop up once we broke over top of it. And I was only trying to get to here anyways. So there was just no way I was going to let this float out there.